Hello, welcome to the Woodsman channel. I provide information and ideas for the design, construction, and furnishings of unique and one-of-a-kind miniatures, models, and dollhouses. I joined the Navy in 1968 during the Vietnam War. They told me I was going to see the world, and equally as important, I didn't really want to go 9,000 miles from home in the Army just to be killed. So they sent me to the Naval Training Command in San Diego, California. One day we were sitting in an auditorium and a fellow walked in and asked if anybody wanted to volunteer to be a member of the underwater demolitions team. Well, it sounded kind of interesting, much more interesting than sitting in a classroom listening to boring lectures and falling asleep. So I raised my hand. They took us to a thing they called the diving locker, and inside this diving locker was a 60-foot tube of water. We were told that we were going to have to dive to the bottom of the tube, retrieve a red flag, and swim back up. That this was the initial qualification for joining the underwater demolitions team. So when it became my turn, I dove in, got down about 12 feet, when the pressure in my ears would not equalize and the pain was just incredible. So I turned around and went back to the surface, and this ended my career of being an underwater demolition technician. My stepdaughter, on the other hand, is a master scuba diver. She has been to strange and exotic parts of the world, diving coral reefs and underwater fauna. She loves diving into tunnels and caves and such, which frankly scares me to death. But it's her passion. So I decided in her honor I would design and build a diving locker from scratch, and that it would be a homage to her skills. Materials needed for the frame are 1/4 inch balsa sticks, 12 inches long, and 1/8 inch balsa sticks, again, 12 inches long. In addition, you need some toothpicks, which you will cut in half, and the reason for that will be obvious very shortly. The framing for the project consists of a front, a back, and 2 sides. All the wood is 1/4 inch balsa wood. The front and back consists of a top plate, a bottom plate, and 2 uprights. The top and bottom plates are 9 inches long, and the uprights are 6 inches long. After you've laid them out, you drill a hole at the end of each top and bottom plate. You dab a little glue on the opening where you drilled the hole. You rotate it 45 degrees and you line it up with the uprights. Then you insert toothpicks in the hole all the way into the uprights. This would be in place of nails that carpenters used to attach the members and to keep them square. Cut 3 more 6-inch pieces of balsa wood and arrange them so that they are 1 5/8 inch apart from the side. And you then drill holes in the bottom of the and top of the framing, and again put toothpicks in the holes after you've dabbed glue on the ends. The sides are constructed in similar fashion. The pieces that you're going to use are 6 inches. You're going to cut 4 of them. Again, you drill holes in the end, dab some glue on the ends of the uprights, and then put toothpicks into them to hold them in place. Then you've cut 2 more 6-inch pieces, and you place them 1 inch in from each side. Again, drilling holes in the ends and placing toothpicks to hold the pieces in place. After you've cut off the ends of the excess toothpicks and all the units, you have the 2 sides, and you have a front and a back. Now, you will not glue them together right now. The gluing part will come later. For the inside trim and the siding, you will need popsicle sticks, which are 8 inches long, about 1 inch wide, and you will need bamboo sticks that are 3/8 inch wide by 15 inches long, and you'll need a lot of them. I think I ordered 80, maybe 100 of them. We'd start with the back wall. You set the first row of bamboo sticks below and even with the top plate. Now, it's possible to run the bamboo sticks all the way across without having any breaks in them, but I don't think that looks authentic. I think if you break up the bamboo sticks and cut them and stagger them, I think it looks much more like authentic siding on the inside, and that's in fact what I did. When you cut the bamboo sticks, make sure that you stagger the cuts and stagger the ends, the joints. That way it looks uniform without having them all in a row like little soldiers lined up. It's also important when you cut the pieces to break it halfway across the upright. Don't take it to the end of the upright. That way you have some place to put the next stick. Try to make the ends flush, but if you don't worry about it. That can be solved later. I cheated in one place and I used a whole piece across here. But ultimately, you have to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. The bottom piece should be flush with the bottom plate. Now I ran some of the pieces long on purpose to show you how to trim the ends of it. I have trimmed them with my Japanese saw, drawing a straight line down the side, and it works very well. These bamboo sticks are very easy to cut. The sidewall is the same process. You lined up the first row below and even with the top frame. you have to leave spaces for a window. You cut the pieces shorter and pull them into the window. Again, if the pieces run a little over, you can trim them with your Japanese saw or any other saw you happen to have around. So you've made two of these side pieces. They're identical. Finally, you come to the front wall. Again, the front wall has a window in it, which you designed just as you did the other two windows, and it also has an opening for the front door. Now you will come down 3 rows and you will stop there. The opening for the front door is 5 inches by 2 1/8 inch. When you glue it together, you glue the side walls to the outside of the front and back walls. And then I clamp mine together so that it would be a strong fit. Make sure that when you align the side walls to the front and back walls that the rows line up. I also put 2 rows of 1/8 inch balsa to the top. I stacked one on top of the other to make it look finished. And then I put a strip of 1/8 balsa in each corner, again, to make it look finished and to hide any gaps that might exist. Finally, I put 2 strips of 1/8 balsa. I added it to the front door inside frame so it was even and flush with the siding, with the interior trim. So that completes your little diving locker house. The 8-inch popsicle sticks are too tall, too long, so they have to be trimmed on the top and the bottom. The little rounded edge goes away. But once you've done that, it's just a matter of setting them in place and gluing them in. When you get to the side wall, then you have to, first of all, you have to add a little piece of 1/4 inch balsa wood to the window frame to complete it, and it gives a solid backing for the siding to be glued to. If the siding runs a little bit long by the windows, don't worry about that. When we get around to do our final trim work, that will be taken care of. Most carpenters will tell you that they use trim for 2 reasons. The first, of course, is to make the project look finished, makes it look very attractive, complete. The second reason is to hide any defects or irregularities in the construction of the project itself. I chose to use 1/8 inch balsa wood around the doors and the windows on the outside. Then I used 1/4 inch balsa around the top and the bottom of the house to cover the ends. of the siding. On the interior, I decided to use bamboo sticks around the door and around the windows. It's now time to construct the front door. It is composed of 8 pieces of 1/4-inch balsa. They're 4 1/4 inches long. After trimming the edges, making them flush, I added a piece of 1/4-inch balsa to the top and bottom. Most carpenters will tell you that one of the issues they always struggle with when it comes to attaching doors is what kind of hinges to use for the door. There are multiple kinds of hinges. Sometimes the manufacturer of the kit provides hinges, and that solves the problem. But you have square hinges and decorative hinges. You have very strange looking hinges. Not all hinges work for every project. You have to adjust the type of hinge that you use based upon whether you're doing a Victorian house or a farmhouse, a modern house, etc. On one occasion, I even used the leather pieces for hinges. I discovered over the years that one of the easiest solutions is watch band pins. They come in different sizes, different lengths. They include a handy little tool that you use to depress the spring on the top of the hinge to make it easier to get into your watch face. First, you drill a hole in the top of the plate, and drill a hole in the bottom of the plate where you want the pin to go in. Then you drill a hole in the bottom of the door and the top of the door. Now you insert the pins into the top and bottom of the door. Put the bottom pin in first. Use your little tool to depress the spring on the top hinge. Slide it in place, and Bob's your uncle. You have a door that opens and closes. The bottom was very straightforward. I cut a piece of foam board to fit inside the house. That was very easy. And then I took 8-inch long, 1-inch wide popsicle sticks. I cut them appropriately and set them in and glued them in, and that was it. So that is the end of part 1 of the diving locker. stay tuned for part 2 of the diving locker, which is the roof and the porch. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I've enjoyed bringing it to you, and I will see you later. Thank you for your time. This is the Woodsman Channel. Goodbye.